Welcome to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Our guest is Emily Blincoe. She's from Nashville, Tennessee. She's a renowned photographer and Instagram star. She's joining us today on the program to talk about her involvement in a brand new national photography project called LiveHer. It's an effort to raise awareness of primary biliary cholangitis, or PBC, and she's also going to talk about the importance of liver health. Welcome to the program, Emily. How are you?
Hey, Neil. I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. This is the first time I've ever interviewed someone who's a photographer and also involved in healthcare. What type of a photographer would you describe yourself as?
I am a commercial and lifestyle photographer. Most of the time I end up working with like brands and creating content for them and their social media. And this is my first time doing anything in the medical field as well, which is really exciting to try something new.
So you've branched out into the medical field. What prompted you to start photography based on the medical field or some problem therein?
Well, I found out through my agency about an opportunity to tell stories of women who have PBC. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy because my mom actually has PBC, and from what I knew, it was like very rare thing. So I was like, oh, this feels like something I definitely want to be a part of. And then we kind of spent the next quite a few months like shaping this project into something that I could have my mom actually be a part of the project, which was really also a first for me to be working with my mom for something so personal.
I understand that PBC is a genetic condition. Are there any concerns about your health based on your mom's condition?
Well, through this project, I learned a lot more about PBC, including that it can be, hereditary or genetic, and which, was quite concerning to me at first. But I know now kind of what I need to do in order to make sure, to have regular liver blood tests as part of my routine to make sure that I don't have that. And so far, so good. So,
when you say regular, are you talking yearly, biannually?
I'm not sure if it's twice a year or once a year, but I know that like possibly talking to your doctor, you have a better idea of how often you need to check that. But I think for sure at least once a year.
Are there lots of women that are involved in this photography initiative with you?
Yes, 3 women. One of them was being my mom, Debbie, and Brandy, who lives outside of Springfield. And then we went down to the Dominican Republic to meet with Belle, who, splits her time between the Dominican Republic and the United States. So there were 3 of them for this project, but there are, of course, other people outside of those 3 who live with this disease as well.
Photography, it's a visual medium, of course. It's like film and movies and TV. When you're talking about a disease, one that I understand doesn't have symptoms, there's nothing outwardly that you can see readily, like they're not missing hair or anything like that. How does the photography, I guess, differ from other types of photography, say cancer patients? What type of image are you trying to portray to raise awareness for this condition?
I think my goal in this was to capture kind of the spirit of these women and their strength and also what their day-to-day lives look like. So that was really my goal. It was, there are some symptoms like when with Belle in the Dominican Republic, she suffers from fatigue and she has a lot of itching. So we were able to document that in the photograph. And then also she has, some spots like in her back and different parts of her body that is another thing that we're able to document. But as far as my mother, she, is very healthy and she runs marathons. So I wanted to include kind of just try to give a visual picture of what your life is like here, because it doesn't always mean that having this disease is, it doesn't always take away from everything that you're doing. You're still, my mom still lives a very healthy lifestyle. So I wanted to show that. Being aware that you have this disease can, give you an opportunity to make the best choices for your own life. You're living a more healthy lifestyle.
Let them know that these women are living their lives, everything is normal, and then they've got this thing that is affecting them and maybe causing them to need a transplant.
That is a possibility, depending on what stage of you are in this disease. That is a possibility. And like I said, my mom is pretty healthy. And so I've only ever viewed this disease through the lens of her. And so it was really interesting to be a part of this project because I was able to see how other people are living and how they're affected. And for example, Belle is in a later stage and she is seeking a transplant right now. She needs a transplant to live. And that was, something that I hadn't had an experience with before. And it was really touching to see how she lives her life and knowing that she needs a transplant to live. It can be, have this going undiagnosed and people can cause a lot of problems, which is why it's important to get regular blood screening so that you can get diagnosed. And sometimes it can be a little difficult to be diagnosed by it. So it's good to not wait around for them to ask you to get a liver blood test, but you should ask
be proactive,
to have that done as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, the name of the project is LiveHer. Talk about where we can go online and learn more about this campaign.
The LiveHer project is like a combination of liver and her. It's spelled LiveHer. And that's the name because it primarily does affect women and ages 35 to 60 typically. And you can go and see, go on Facebook and learn a lot more if you type in the LiveHer, LiveHer, into Facebook search. You should be able to find the page and you'll be able to see all the photos we made and videos and find more information there.
What do you see on the horizon for this program? Is this something that you see building up steam and continuing for the next 20, 30 years as awareness is raised?
I hope so. It's been something that I've become really passionate about, and I know that we're already talking about continuing this project through at least the next coming year with me being involved. But I hope there continues to be campaigns to raise awareness because if we don't know, then we can't do anything about this. And so I hope that it's something that every woman is thinking about and aware of. That would be wonderful.
Emily Blincoe, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you, Neil.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Transcripts and audio of this program are available at healthprofessionalradio.com.au and also at hpr.fm. You can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, listen in, and download at SoundCloud.